Are you in love?
Could never be me. I will say, like, even though it's our first video, I hate romance. Like,
no, that's actually so true, though.
Yeah.
I like romance. Which is funny because, like, I don't read romance books.
But, like, then that's the thing.
But I love romance.
This is not a romance book. This is not a romance book. Don't put it in the book. Unless it's, like, book 2, 3, 4. That first book you put in romance, bro, I'm like, shove it down my throat, you know?
Not like a little space in there. Not even spicy.
But just like
oh my god.
Oh, God.
It depends. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Welcome
To the TBR.
to the TBR Pod.
We should practice this.
We should. What are we saying?
I don't know, because this is our first episode.
Yeah. So it's like, ba-da-ba-ba. So today on the TBR Pod, like, how are we saying this?
I don't know.
Because everyone has like that intro. They're like,
I know, but we don't really do an intro.
We don't. We're just like,
hey, who's us? I hope you know who we are. You'll learn.
So do we say TBR Pod or Welcome to the Two Bitches Reading Podcast?
Well, I don't know. What do you want to say? You were saying the Two Bitches Reading, so you want to say that?
Let me hear both. Ready?
Okay.
Oh, wait. Do we say, I'm Kelcie, I'm Bree?
I think we should say, like, we're your hosts, Kelcie and Bree. We actually have it now. Okay. Hey, we're your hosts. I'm Kelcie.
I'm Bree.
And welcome to Two Bitches Reading. You in love?
Could never be me.
So, okay, first episode. Hey, quick spoiler warning. These are the books that we talk about in the episode. The Selection Series, Hunger Games, Fourth Wing, ACOTAR, Shatter Me, Cruel Prince, The 100, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Song of Achilles, Bridgerton, Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, Grishaverse, Poppy Wars, His Dark Materials, Ember in the Ashes, and The Way of Kings. Spoilers for books in the series that are listed. Some are minor, some are more major, so just beware as you continue in the episode. Hope you enjoy. Welcome. You're going to get to know us real fast.
Oh, yeah.
We have lots of opinions.
Black and white when it comes.
Yes. Very on the nose.
Very on the nose. On the nose.
Bree said that.
Black and white opinions on this topic today.
Of romance. We're talking about the trope.
Yeah.
My hair is stuck on my mic.
So unprofessional.
I know.
Unprofessional? No, I'm just dumb. Oh my god, so unprofessional. Anywho. So, all things romance.
All things romance. We're talking enemies to lovers, friends to lovers, slow burn, what we like in romance, what we don't
like.
Romance books
right.
versus romance in non-romance books. Like, do we like it? Do we not like it? You're going to find out today. And one of our cats is going to meow. My cat. We're not at your house. Our cats. Well, we never hold hands.
I know.
We didn't know how to do that.
Okay.
So, okay. Starting off strong with, like, the basic, I feel like when you're reading YA,
yes,
you have usually a love triangle. Now, this is the bane of your existence. And I feel like you have a rant ready to go.
I don't want to go too, because, like, once we get into it, you go here. I don't want to repeat myself over and over. I'll just start with the cute little I hate love triangles.
Yeah.
Because there's obviously one. That's your one. This one, you just have, like, sexual tension with or something, which is, like, whatever.
It's very obvious.
It's so obvious.
And I think that's where love triangles go wrong.
Yeah.
Is because it's always so freaking obvious who they're going to end up with.
One's, like, the good guy, your best friend. The other one's, like, a bad boy. Or so, you know, so...
Yeah. If there was a love triangle that was very much like, wait, I actually do not know who you're going to end up with.
Yes, because they're both great or, like, different in their own ways, but not so stark. Like... in contrast with each other. There's
one series that I think at the beginning actually had a good love triangle, and it's actually The Selection.
Really?
Yeah, because so the main character, America, she has an established relationship with her boyfriend Aspen, and he wants what's best for her, you know.
Right.
And so he breaks up with her, and he's like, you need to do this selection. Like, you should put yourself in, like, you know, it would help your family out and you out. So she does it. She's mad. She doesn't want to. And so they break up. She goes into the selection because she's chosen. And there's the Prince Maxon.
Okay.
And he's a very nice, silly, goofy guy.
Okay.
And it's very obvious he likes her a lot. And she's like, I don't even want to be here. Like, I want to be here, but I don't want to be here.
When we first meet him, it's very much, he's very attractive.
No.
Okay, good. Okay,
It's like, I mean, like, he's not bad looking.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm not looking for love here.
Yeah.
Which is literally the whole point of it,
The whole
right?
thing, but,
Yeah, but that's what I liked,
Right.
And then he's like, yeah, like, I'm going to be your friend then. And she's like, fine,
Okay.
I'll be your friend and I'll help you out. You help me out. Because
Okay.
she's like, I need to stay here because I don't want to go home and face my ex-boyfriend and everything. And we also, need...
Okay, question though.
Yeah.
I mean, I need to read the series, but like, okay, I'm gonna help you out, you help me out. But like, it's giving like a Bachelor situation.
It is, to me, the way that I describe the selection is The Bachelor meets like Hunger Games without the fighting.
Okay. So it's like they're all there throughout the entire thing.
They get eliminated as he's like, because he's pretty much choosing who he's gonna marry.
Right.
And so he eliminates girls as he's like, yeah, we're
So then
not
like,
a match.
I'm just gonna keep you till the end, basically, but then not choose you?
And not choose you. Even though he wants to
wants
choose
to
her. And slowly she does start to fall in love with him.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. And then Aspen, her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, he becomes a guard. And he's like, wait, but I still love you and I want you back. Like,
Yeah.
And so then they start kind of having a fling while she's also like kind of with Maxon.
Like random
and
feelings that I'm getting.
so it was almost like, okay, is she going to go back with Aspen or is she going to go with Maxon at the end? And what's interesting is the author based the first boyfriend, Aspen, on her husband. And she originally was going to have America end up with Aspen. And I think that's why it made the love triangle so like
the obvious
who's
answer
it
would be
gonna
like, oh, she's gonna end up with the king or whatever.
Yeah, but it wasn't obvious. Because I honestly, I mean, I ship her and Maxon. I think that was a good final ending. But I would not have minded if she was with Aspen. I thought Aspen was a good guy. He made mistakes.
I mean, mind you, the whole selection's a whole series, but like, would that have just ended series? If she went with him? Like, do you think they could have written it like somehow to continue the books?
Well, they did continue the books.
I mean, with her choosing Aspen though.
Oh, maybe. I feel like maybe not. Like, I feel like if Maxon had ended up with someone, they still would have done. Parker.
Hello.
Oh, you killed
What do you got?
it.
What do you got?
Good boy, you killed it.
The Velcro. Anyway.
So I think that if she had ended up with Aspen, there still could have been spin-off potential of either their kids or Maxon and whoever he ended up with, because I'm sure it would have been a named character, within the selection. And it still could have been an interesting, like, they're kids.
Or even like a her with Aspen, her with him, somehow like their lives intertwine in a way.
Yeah, well,
even though they're not in love, but like if it went that way.
Yeah, well, in the sequel books, they're kids. Aspen's kids with someone else, well, actually, he doesn't have kids.
Oh,
no, it's someone else's. Oh, it's her other best friend.
Oh, okay, but still,
her kid. But like, he's there. They're all there, and it's.
Aspen's still there?
Aspen's still there. He's married to someone else. Like, yeah. So it's like a whole thing. Like, so they're still best friends.
Yeah.
And that's like, I don't know, cool thing.
All right, I'll read it.
But sorry, also, we're definitely getting into spoilers here today.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of have to.
If it's not like a book that's coming out right now.
Yeah, which we wouldn't have read.
Yeah.
It's not out yet.
But like a series that's coming out right now,
True.
So we're good.
So, okay, love triangles though. Love triangle that we hated. I hated Twilight love triangle.
Because like it wasn't even really a love triangle.
It wasn't. Because
it was like forced, but also like she doesn't even want you.
No, she didn't like him. She
was
didn't like Jacob.
I'll settle for you.
Yeah.
That wasn't. That's not a two options.
No. So that kind of felt like the only reason we're having this is for plot.
Yeah.
Like,
but like you could. I mean, I hate a love triangle, but in that one, you could have at least made her like him in a the sexual tension, like the basics.
Yeah.
It was really just Edward is that's my man. That's my love of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's not gonna come back, I'll just settle for him and be depressed for the rest of my life.
I feel like another love triangle is the Hunger Games. That was like very much, there's no way.
The same thing though, low-key.
Yeah, because she did not like Gale in that way.
Yeah.
Like, not that she liked Peeta in that way either.
Right.
Which
but it was just
adds a little bit of interest.
Yeah.
But it was never gonna be Gale.
Yeah. Almost the same thing, like, yeah, I could settle for you.
Right. Like, okay.
Like, oh, I guess that's what people do. I'll, be
because
with
they're
you.
friends.
Yeah. Like, oh, we're safe. We have a partnership.
Yeah.
We work. Why not?
And that's fine. I don't like when they force it.
Yeah.
And it's always the guy that's obsessed with the girl.
Yes.
And causes the girl to feel like, well, I mean, I guess I owe it to him.
God, ew.
I know.
That's so disgusting.
Right? Like, when you really, delve into that, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because the girl never really likes the guy.
Yeah. Or even if there's another one I'm thinking.
Fourth Wing, Dane.
There.
And Violet.
Yeah.
She doesn't, I mean, I guess she used to have a crush on him, I think.
Because, like, I mean, I feel like, oh, look, now my hair's getting stuck.
Unprofessional.
I feel like it would have been more of a love triangle if she had still had feelings for Dane when Xaden came into the picture.
Yeah.
Because then also, like, oh, Dane's your tried and true
All-American
man. And, like, you're a bestie for your whole life. So, like,
yeah.
and
there could
then
have been potential
Xaden's
there.
that, like, sexual tension, like,
boy.
bad boys. Like,
But it didn't feel like a love triangle.
yeah, they
at
didn't,
all.
no.
Which was for the best.
1,000% for the best. But moving forward.
I know.
Could we?
Switching it up. Where
Could we?
I was like, Dane? Not so bad.
Don't like you. Because, like, you still made those decisions and said those things and did da-da-da. But
not so bad.
So now I'm kind of scared.
I know. Well, there's also the prince. Who people think that maybe...
I don't see that at all.
I don't see it really either.
No.
But
if we have that in the mix... But, like, for this one, it feels like, oh my god, she really could end up with Dane. Like, possibly because, like, her and Xaden was, like, an instant, burning passion, da-da-da-da for all this time. Shit's going down. Dane's kind of being a good guy now, in a way.
Yeah, like a redemption arc for him.
Yeah. There's another story that did that. Maybe one I haven't read.
I don't know.
Because, like...
I know that Shatter Me.
That's
was that
it? I think there's another one, but, like, that's... Yeah. Because, like, this is my man.
Right, because I forget his name. Oh my gosh, it's been a minute. But yeah, the first guy, and then she has...
And then the one that she doesn't like, he's like, obsessed with her.
Yeah. Also, Akatar.
That's...
So is that... I feel like that's it. Wait, no, that's it.
That's the one.
Yeah, because Tamlin... Nah, because that was...
a train wreck.
No, and people getting the tattoo of Tamlin before they continued reading because they were, like, so obsessed with him, which I understand. I read the first one, and I was like, Tamlin's a great guy. Why does everyone hate Tamlin? And I know I'm going to get... I haven't read any of the other ones.
Yeah.
I have the second one ready to go, but I'm ready to be put in my place on that. So yes. But yeah, so because Rhysand is who everyone's like, oh my god, no, he's the one. Yeah. Which I think she does end up with him.
I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, so Tamlin's supposed to turn into like an asshole, like, no, he keeps her there like against her will, or I don't know, something.
Do you think that's gonna happen with Xaden? Sorry, it's not really a romance, but like, yes.
No, it is. Yeah. It is. I don't know.
So now I'm scared because in case you haven't read, like, shit's going down. Yeah. There could be some complications there.
Yeah, because Xaden is now a...
Oh, we're doing spoilers.
Yeah, we're going all in. Come on. We're going all in.
Xaden!
We'll put a warning at the beginning.
Yeah. Is turning into a...
oh my gosh, a Venin.
A Venin! Wow. Sounds like I just finished reading that. Like,
he's turning into a Venin.
Yeah.
But is he has that connection through the dragons.
Right.
But... because becoming a Venin, you're supposed to kill your dragon, right? Because that's what,
That's what he did, but I thought it was just, like, to take his power.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know.
I don't know. But is that, like, connection going to be severed?
Is that going to be his downfall now? Like, he spirals into that?
Which is an interesting romance concept. I do like that,
yeah.
Of your lovers to enemies.
Oh.
I have not read that at all, I don't think.
I don't think I have.
But I am intrigued by that idea.
I could, like, that, I would 100%.
Because that to me is better than enemies to lovers. Oof. And it makes more sense.
Yes.
Because, look.
Like, I get the enemies to lovers, because, like, we have that tension, which turns into sexual tension,
but
blah, blah, blah,
to me,
blah.
for it to be enemies?
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys have complete opposite morals. To me, enemies comes down to morals.
I want you dead, basically. I don't want you.
And it's like, we are completely opposite on all fronts.
Yeah.
To me, rivals to lovers.
That makes more sense.
Is more acceptable and makes more sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like
that's what a lot of enemies to lovers really is.
I was going to say, I think people generalize it because enemies to lovers is a well-known. It just sounds, Yeah. But I think rivals to lovers should be more in use, like that phrase, because I think it makes more sense.
Because even if you are on, like, opposite ends of, like, the war or something, you both, like, believe in your side, so it makes sense.
Like, why would you get together?
Yeah.
Unless there's a redemption arc, but then at that point, are you still enemies to love? I don't know. It's just
like, is that the two lovers part? You know, like, the arc is what gets you there?
I guess.
It must be. Oh, I'm sorry, my stomach's all mumbling.
Got a little snack. Well, okay, so enemies to lovers, we have the Cruel Prince, which, I mean, again, I feel like that's rivals, because
that one feels 100% more rivals.
Bullied her.
Yeah.
I mean, he did bully her hard. And he did hate her existence of being a human in the fairy world.
Yeah, it just feels lighter on the whole enemies. Like, yes, we're enemies. We're rivals. But it didn't feel like everything I stand for. I mean, I don't know, I guess.
Because, like, his, to me, was almost like an infatuation at the beginning. Like, Because,
like, how are you a human? You're kind of surviving here.
Exactly.
Like, you don't belong here. But, like, it's more interested in that. Like, he's interested.
Yeah. He's interested in what he's supposedly against. So is he actually against it? Because I don't think he is, because they fall in love, right?
Right.
Her, though, she does hate him.
Yeah. So I guess
on her end,
it is enemies to lovers.
Yeah. Because she kind of, I guess, like, learns to rely on him.
They kind of cross paths in a way and have to work together.
Yeah, because she makes him the king, and then she's like, but I have to be your second.
So I guess that one works.
Yeah. And then going into TV shows, which this is based off a book, but The 100, you have Bellamy and Clark.
One more time.
Bellamy.
The one who gets married, the two people get married in real life.
Yes. Yeah. So, Bellamy and Clark, again, I would call it rivals to lovers, because they both obviously were, like, delinquents, because that's what the whole thing was. Look, my cats like to play around, so if you hear random weird noises.
Anyhow.
But yeah, I think they're rivals to lovers because they're both delinquents, because, you know, that's why they ended up being, like, imprisoned as kids.
So they are that, like, they come down together to Earth.
Yeah, like, so it's a ship of delinquent children who were imprisoned, but weren't killed because, you know, they're in space and you gotta keep the population going somehow.
And then don't they send them down?
They send them down to Earth to see if
it's habitable or whatever? Okay.
And she's part of it, he's part of it. And, I mean, he and her just have different ideas of how to survive Earth.
Yeah.
But then, obviously, I love their romance. Even though in the show, they don't even get together in the show.
At all?
In the books, it's canon. And in real life, it's canon because...
in real life.
But in the show, they actually don't end up together, which is actually fucking ridiculous.
So it's like we're teasing that rivals, enemies to lovers.
They were. But in the book, it's real, so I'm gonna say book-wise.
Right.
Because it is canon.
Okay.
But, like, they end up, you know, obviously coming together.
Having to work together.
And having to work together.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's, like, difficult to even say much on enemies to lovers, because it's hard to even have a true enemies to lovers.
I know.
Like, another one that just popped up in my head that could be is Buffy. Have you ever seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
A minute ago.
It's been a minute for me, too. But I know that she ends up with Spike. Is that his name?
Bro, it's been a minute.
It's the really white blonde vampire guy.
Oh.
I think it's Spike.
Yeah.
Yeah. They end up together.
Okay. I feel like that could be a good one.
Because, like, you know...
They truly are.
He's a vampire. She's
a vampire slayer.
And, like, at the beginning, they are against each other, and then something happens, they start sleeping together. They're forced to ally and, like, work together.
Yeah.
And then they still don't really like each other, and then they start sleeping together.
Is there any story? I mean, there's gotta be. But any, like, books, stories, whatever, where it's like, we're enemies, okay? We're on opposite ends. And then as we continue to fight with each other, we end up falling, you know, like, in that
like, you're
way?
against each other the whole time.
But then, like, you don't even realize, like, oh, I've actually fallen in. You know, so there's never, like, we're forced to work together or forced to ally.
Right, because that's, like, where, to me, the line gets crossed.
Yeah, because, like, okay, now you're, like, enemies to allies to lovers.
Exactly,
you know?
yeah.
So I feel like enemies to lovers would be, like, we're enemies this entire time, opposite sides, but somewhere across the line, I'm starting to, like, fall in love with you, but we're still opposite the entire time.
Right.
You know?
I don't know.
Well, I know they're thinking of ideas. So.
Yeah, they're like, no, it's this
literally, yeah.
Yeah, let us know, but I haven't read that.
I don't think.
Someone needs to write that if it's not a book yet.
I will never write that, though.
Yeah, so, okay, what are your thoughts, like, personally on enemies to lovers? Or rivals to lovers? Like, do you like it? Do you not like it?
I'm just so particular.
Yeah.
When it comes to romance, especially enemies to lovers. Because when we first meet, when we first get to know each other, do not say, and we so handsome,
oh my God,
so delicious, like, freaking shatter me.
Yeah, shatter me. Even Poppy War. Her being, I mean, not that she ends up with him, but like Neza.
Yeah.
She's like,
he's like so handsome and porcelain skin
and his smile.
But I mean, I feel like Shatter Me does it the worst.
She
like
really
a whole
is.
paragraph just, and his hair and his curls and the sharp jaw. And I'm like, oh my God.
Also Violet and Xaden, if you want to count that as enemies to lovers.
Yes. Which, like, I don't know, for some reason that one didn't, I mean.
It didn't feel as cringy.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know each other for long, maybe?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. For some reason, that one feels different, even though it's the same.
Because I think, okay, I might be wrong here. Okay. But to me, I think the reason it might be different is because they weren't put in the situation where they were like, we are enemies. Everyone just said they were enemies.
Because, like, of their families, you know, like, they're like, supposed to be.
They never really had beef.
Yeah.
Really, you know?
I mean, he mostly had a reason, like, first book. Yeah. Before we knew everything, like, your mom did all this shit to me. Yeah. So, like, boom, I could get her back by killing you. Don't like you. It wasn't really you.
But he didn't want to kill her. Yeah. Because we did find out later that he was to protect her.
Yeah.
But it's just, like, they weren't enemies ever. Even though she didn't know that, but she never thought of him, I feel like, as an enemy.
Right. Like, even during, she was just like, I know he wants to kill me. Like, I'm going to show him up. You know, you know, like, prove myself in a way. Yeah. So that's why it didn't feel as, like, cringy when she's like, because, I mean, you're obviously handsome, but, like, we personally don't have
beef,
opposing morals and things. We don't have beef.
Yeah.
So I really don't hate. I can find you attractive, you know?
Yeah.
So it wasn't. I don't really want to put them as enemies. Like,
would you say that's rivals? But even then, it's like, it's more just like angst.
Yeah.
Because it was like, when they did get together, it was just angst. Yeah. The whole time. Right?
Yeah. Angst to lovers?
That's just angst lovers.
Angst lovers. Ooh, and going forward.
Right, because she always had a problem with some he did. Which,
ooh, I'm kind of scared. Because, like, they're so locked in for one another.
Right.
So, like, going
they also
forward.
Have to be. Okay, wait, would you consider that, like, forced
proximity?
Not proximity, but, like, forced mates or, like, soulmates or whatever you would call that? Mated? Because their dragons are mates, which makes them connected. Yeah. And they even said they feel their dragons going down on each other. They're like, oh, I need you now. Yeah. So, like, would you consider that?
Would they have had such a strong connection if their dragons weren't?
Right. Like, a strong sexual connection.
For sure.
Because I think they could have, you know, been friends and all this, but are they in love because their dragons are in love? And is that going to be a point of, like, contention later now that he's turning venom and he's going to realize, I actually never loved her? Do we think?
But I feel like he loves her more than she loves him. That's what it's always giving to the books.
I think it's because he knows things, and
True,
she's just
he knows the whole picture.
Yeah,
she's
and she's like, why won't you just talk to me and tell me things?
Yeah.
I can't. I feel
Which
like
again,
I can't
like
trust
their
you.
relationship's so almost like toxic.
It is. Which I also want to talk about toxic relationships because I feel like it's so prevalent.
Yes.
In so many books.
Yes.
And I feel like toxic relationships goes along the lines of enemies to lovers.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm tired of.
Yeah. And like everyone eats it up, which like I get it. That's your what's it called? What's it?
I don't know.
The devil, my yes, there we go.
Like that.
Yes.
Like turning him good, or like what do you? I don't know.
It's just like I like the whole toxic relationship point, which I get why people like the enemies to lovers. But if we're looking on a real
world POV,
I don't know. I get why you guys eat up the toxic enemies to lovers. I get it. I get it.
See, again, I like a good rivals to lovers.
Right.
Like, I like Fourth Wing. I like Violet and Xaden.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure that if we continued with Shatter Me, we stopped, I think, mid
know.
book 3. We could have liked them.
Right.
I just also didn't like Juliet.
No. I feel like a superhero.
Oh my god.
No.
But I think that when it comes to the toxicity, that's where I get like,
especially because like they're toxic, but then they end up together.
Yeah, like why?
Like that's it. That's
like,
them.
Okay. Look into your real life right now. Okay. Do you have that one person that you just hate their guts?
But you can't.
But would you actually get together with them? Do you see a world where the person that you hate, would you fall in love with them? I'm sorry. The answer's no. Even because if it's like a really hot person.
It's the whole like, we like the toxic part, but if you were to actually be together, that would be a shit show.
Yeah.
You would never find happiness in that.
No.
Like, go to therapy at the end of the day.
Go to therapy. Yeah. So, okay, toxic relationships. Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like we have not personally read any of these books.
Absolutely not.
You already know.
Yeah.
Colleen Hoover. And I will not ever. I'm sorry.
No.
I cannot. I will not.
No.
I do not.
Even on the basic, like, all those different just fiction romance books.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Not for me, but...
But specifically, Miss Colleen.
Colleen, because hers, I'm pretty sure like 90% of her romance books are toxic relationships, are they not?
Like a toxic, abusive,
at least the ones that I have heard of.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk the one that just became a movie. Not just, but...
I mean, just.
It Ends With Us.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that literally like she's in an abusive relationship and... I don't know.
I guess she ends up with another guy.
Okay, I guess that's good, but doesn't... Okay, I mean, again, it's difficult for us to like really
we haven't read them.
We haven't read them, but this is what we've heard.
Yeah.
But like she romanticizes abuse.
Because a lot of people I've read who said like I've been in abusive relationships, physical, emotional, and that's like romanticizing it.
Yeah. And that's just not healthy for people to read, in my opinion.
And I can see, like, when, and obviously not personally, but, like, when you're in those relationships, you know, you, in a way, romanticize it to, like, whatever. So it's like, no, it's not that bad, or whatever. Like, it's hard to leave. So, like, that's how she's writing it. But I just feel like the execution doesn't come off.
In the way of, like you're taking off the rose-colored glasses and looking back on it and actually seeing that it wasn't good. Because
I feel like it's, like, rose-colored glasses, but then you just end up with somebody else. Like, you never... I don't know.
Yeah. Have you seen the limited series Made?
I've seen parts of it.
Which is also based off a book.
But I know there is an abusive relationship there.
Yeah, and I think they do a really interesting job of showing that, because they do have an episode, and it's been a while since I've seen it, so, you know, it's based off my memory of it. But they do have, like, this sequence where you're looking back on her with the guy and like her being happy with him and with her kid and actually having good moments with him, because abusive relations are not
there's a reason why you know, like, we're in this you know, whatever.
And so, but like then it shows, you know, this is the reality.
Those dark moments.
Exactly. Like, there is good and bad, but at the end of the day, gotta get out.
Yeah, because the bad moments are not supposed to be like that.
You're not supposed to romanticize the bad parts.
Yeah. And that's what I think, and based off what other people who have read it, other people who have experienced that in real life who have read it, have said, like, execution...
just not
terrible.
Hitting.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I want to just touch on... what is it called when
yes.
You want to warn people, not spoiler, but trigger warning.
Trigger warning.
Sorry, trigger warning essay.
Okay.
So skip ahead to
we'll put a thingy.
But yeah, so essay in books, because I feel like
what's that one book? I haven't read it.
Bridgerton had it, which they also showed in the show.
Did they?
Right. They did. Because she forced him to...
Is that what she finds out? That he's been like, lying to her or whatever?
It's different in the book.
Yeah.
And I think it's worse in the book.
Yeah.
And then they're together and happy still. Ooh. Even though she did essay him.
And also, did anyone really pick that up because she's a woman?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because, like, essay from a woman?
Yeah, like a woman essaying a man.
Yeah. I feel like that gets overlooked.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because there's another woman forcing the man, Achilles, Song of Achilles.
Oh, that was so...
I get it, but also I wish that wasn't in the book. It felt like that part of it wasn't necessary.
And that, I mean, I don't know if that's part of the actual...
like history of the Greek mythology.
Like the Greek mythology was actually in there. But even still... What was the point of that? Because he already... Achilles already had two, because of his mom forcing him.
Right. Like, I feel like that makes sense.
That makes sense to be in whatever.
But why did we have to have the graphic scene with her and Patroclus? Yeah. Why did we have to have... That's where I get...
Especially because he was like... And to me, his fight or flight response was like freeze almost.
Yeah.
So it was giving like, okay, I'll just let her because I feel bad.
Like, I feel bad. Yeah.
Oh...
And, like, again, Bridgerton was also graphic. Yeah. Why are we showing graphic essay in books? Even in shows, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Outlander, which is also a book. And I'm pretty sure there's talk about how they felt it was important.
And that's the thing, that's the definition of the line between, like, it's important to show this because the message we're giving the story. Right. And someone was just like, we didn't need that.
Because I watched the show. I haven't read the book yet. And it was hard to watch. Really? It was hard to watch. But again, it was like, I understand the importance of it, but like, and that's what you're supposed to get. Yeah. You know, you're supposed to have a reaction to it. But then it can go too far, like 13 Reasons Why. Ooh. In my opinion, that went way too far. Like, we didn't need to see the rest of that. Right. You know? Yeah. But then again, it's like, who says where the line is drawn?
Because everyone's gonna have their own opinion of like, no, it's meant to give
like
you that
representation, right? And to get your visceral reaction. Yeah. But also triggering, which
like it's almost too, I don't know, like too graphic.
Yeah. And it's and also it's like in the aspects of Bridgerton and well, I guess just
should you explain in a light way the Bridgerton book? Because I feel like a lot of people haven't read the book.
Okay, yeah. So he's drunk and he's like at her door and he's like, oh, like, well, we're fighting, I'm sorry, like whatever. And she's like, oh, okay, well, come on, like, let's get you to bed. And then he happens to have a hard on while he's drunk, and he wants to make up with her because and she takes advantage of him while he's drunk. Yeah. Pretty much is what happens.
Because I don't know if you told, like, if this is wrong, but, like, he was asleep at one point?
Yeah, he falls asleep. Yes.
And then she continues.
Yeah. And she's like, I didn't know that they could have this while they're sleeping. Let me go on it. Oh. Yeah.
It's like...
And then he, like, kind of wakes up. Yeah.
Oh.
It's been a minute since I read that one, too, and I kind of block it out.
Because, again, what? Like,
yeah,
I can see it's, like, her innocence. Like, I don't... But also... We did not need that.
Which is why it is so important to have sex education.
Yes. Which should be in all schools.
All schools.
Moving on.
Anyway, but I think what's interesting about Bridgerton is that they do stay together even though she essayed him.
Because, like, does he even see it as that?
I mean, he didn't even want to have kids. And she did that so she could have his kids.
Yeah.
Which is a whole other thing, too. I mean, yeah, he ends up being fine with it, but, I mean, that's just...
Because also it's...
not good.
Sorry, another, like, deeper part of it, but, like, in society, like, men, it's so, like, shadowed for essay on men.
Yeah.
Especially, like, when a woman perpetrates it.
Yeah.
That so many... I've even heard my guy friends and family are like, no, they can't be. Or, like, it's not... I'm like, oh, my God, babe. But a whole different thing.
That's actually wild.
Yeah, which is like
ridiculous.
Oh my God. So it's like, I feel like in movies, books, it's like brushed over or not like, oh my gosh, you know, he was, you know, taken advantage of or whatever.
Well, I mean, I think that in media, when like you're rooting for them to be together, also,
you kind of
you're like, well, let it go. Like, no, it wasn't really people are gonna get really mad at me. Rory and Jess and Gilmore Girls.
Oh.
Because look, I get it. I understand why people want them together.
Yeah.
I see that. I liked them.
Yeah.
But he went too far in that party scene where they were making out, and then he goes for her belt, and she's like, "No, like I don't want to do this here. Like not here." And he's not
continuing, not stopping.
And people want to say, oh, but it wasn't really. Or like, but they didn't. Like he was angry.
I don't care what he was feeling, what he was going through at the time.
No, that's not acceptable, and it is SA.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to go all the way for it to be SA.
Exactly.
If it is not consent, it is SA.
Yes.
We're getting real deep in here. Sorry, guys.
It's gonna be a whole big part.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's still important to talk about.
It is,
you know, because so many people,
especially in romance.
Yeah, try to like run over. Oh, it's okay, whatever. Like, it wasn't the graphic all the way to the end, so it's like not.
But people are forgiving him.
Yeah, but they forgive it.
Exactly. Which in real life, I mean, look at
that.
Yeah, people forgive all the time.
Yeah.
So, I can't think of any other like off the top of my head that I've read.
Yeah.
That has any essay, but like still, it's like
not that I've read, but you know that what is it? It's the cover is like that guy, and he's like all like scrunched up, you know?
I don't know.
You know the one? It's like
Yellowface? No, all the little things.
Yes. Because I guess he's a disabled man. I think physically, but like throughout the book, it's just like essay, like
he is.
Yeah, like multiple times, and it's just like trauma the entire time, and it's just a whole book of essay. So I'm like, another example, like, did any of that need to be written? Because I heard it's like graphic too.
I know people. That's like people go hard for that book.
I see on both ends, like people go hard for that book, or people go hard hating that book.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever read it.
I don't know.
Because I probably could not handle that. But again, it's like I see it's that same conversation where it's like to bring light on certain subjects versus just having it in the book. Like I don't
like just to have it in the book.
But also like when do you go too far?
Right.
And I heard that book goes very far.
Yikes. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Bridgerton, like further within the series, they also have like more kind of
I heard
playing the line with Benedict, which his season's coming out next for Netflix. So we'll see. I mean, but also I feel like they've from the books to the show have like changed their they made them way more likable, and funny. So I feel like which that's a whole other conversation, I feel like, to talk about the way that they adapt books and when they do have those like subjects in them, how they translate it to like TV.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's another conversation.
That's a whole other thing. Right.
But yeah, okay. Do you have anything else to say? I just don't want to like go too much on essay, but
we'll just put a little pin there for now. Definitely come back to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's again a discussion.
A whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we touched on enemies to lovers, we touched on love triangles, essay. My personal favorite.
Here we go.
Is a slow burn. Friends to lovers. Emphasis on slow burn.
Slow. I like a very, very slow burn.
Yes. Which I think we need more of. I am sick and tired of the instant falling in love. It does not make sense. Like, you can find someone attractive, but
when
also,
it's like, we felt a spark, like there's, oh my God, that's not, like, I wanted, because like, what we're reading, fantasy, sci-fi,
right?
So like, the world and things are like where there's a whole war about to happen, and we're like in love, like what? Slowly.
Yeah. So.
Please.
Sorry, I'm just like. Okay. So yeah, instant lovers doesn't make sense. I'm trying to like think of how to word this. I understand wanting to escape reality. We don't want it, like we know it's not realistic.
For sure.
But at least for me.
Yeah.
And for you.
Thank you.
We just don't want the instant.
Yeah, like I feel like it hits harder when it is that slow burn. And it doesn't have to even, like for me, it doesn't have to be friends, or it could start as friends to lovers, or just, or ally, or whoever.
Right, like we're just two strangers that meet in the book. We, you know, are allies, or like friends, like you become friends. And
then we're working together, like, oh, now I start to care for you. Like, it feel like it's gives their love more meaning.
Yes.
When it's like, we fell in love through trauma bonding, like through whatever we're going through, and like we've had each other backs, and we know that like we're obviously allies, friends, but then we realize it's more than that.
Yeah.
Because like I hate when we first meet and you meet, they're like, they're very handsome. They're like, oh, his lips are very full. Like,
yeah, we just don't. We didn't need that.
No.
Like, you can introduce how someone looks.
Yeah.
Not all in one go as the character being like, oh my God, they're fucking hot.
Yeah.
It can be like, oh, they have, you know, shaggy brown hair.
Yeah.
And like, you know, later, oh, the, you know, whipping it around or what, you know.
Even like
attractive description by not saying outright that they're attractive.
Exactly. Especially like, you know, okay, he's very tall. Okay, boom, we're moving on so he can da-da-da. Then in another scene, you could say like, oh, the girls are watching him. Like, you know, like...
Yeah, other people can find them attractive, therefore we
without
understand
having to
he's
specifically
attractive.
say, he's attractive.
Even then...
And then let me show you.
Even then, in my opinion, you don't need to describe someone as attractive, because if the main character... who we like the main character, we are in their brain.
Yes.
If they're falling in love with someone, in our brain, they're going to be attractive.
Yes. That's
like,
what I'm saying. Like, it could be more like, you know, he looks at me, and this is as we've gone through.
Exactly.
Like, you know, my cheeks flush.
Yeah.
And then I go da-da-da.
Like, I never noticed, you know, the way his eyes catch the light and they change like, color. You know?
They're not specifically talking about being attractive, but more of...
like, again, a little more realistic.
Yeah.
With touches of non-realistic. You know, like, I would never think that if I'm looking into, like, someone's eyes.
Yeah, like, oh, they have Fexa Blue and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that's what makes romance beautiful in books.
Yeah.
But make it a little bit more realistic, in my opinion.
Just, like, I don't even know how to word it. Like, have the world... explain it where it's like... you're not outright saying it. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Agreed.
Agreed.
So, okay, examples. I'm a sucker.
She's a sucker.
I'm a sucker for friends to lovers. And I mean, you have the OG.
The OG.
OG slow burn.
Slow burn.
And it's not even like, I mean, they are obviously best friends.
Yeah.
But they also have some little arguments.
Dare I say, rivals to lovers.
Ron and Hermione, which, look, okay. A lot of people don't like them anymore. Anymore. And that's where I get a little peeved. Because, look, I think that we have all not read the books in a minute. and we're just going off movies, we're going off fan fiction.
Yeah.
And people don't get Ron right.
No.
Anymore.
No.
Because Ron is, if you want to generalize, say he's the weaker of the three, he's the weakest. He,
Fine.
Gets pushed aside very easily.
But I will say, just reading the first book right now, I'm like, all the ideas are like,
it's
coming from him.
Ron is smart.
Yeah.
But he's also dumb.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him funny.
Like, obviously they're going to be like the comic relief.
Yeah.
But not just like he's the dumb, stupid comic relief. Like, he's only that.
No, and
like,
that's what they made him in the movies, which I don't like. They gave all of his best lines to Hermione.
Yeah. Because, like, we already know she's smart. We already know she's clever. But, like, Ron is clever, too.
Yeah. And he is there. He is there for his best friends.
Yeah.
He does get jealous. And that's what I like about him, is that he's human.
Yeah.
Like, you're not perfect. Hermione's not perfect either. Harry is far from perfect.
Right.
I mean, like, I'm on my reread, and, I mean, fourth book Harry, he's upset all the time. Which, granted, he has a reason to be. There's a lot going on, right. But also, Ron has a reason to be jealous.
Yeah.
He has
also, he's been the youngest, overshadowed, growing up. Like, it makes sense.
Yes. And Harry, who's extremely famous, he's best friends with him. I mean, it's hard to be shunted to the side all the time. Yeah. I would feel that way too.
Right.
And then him and Hermione, like Hermione, I love my girl. I go hard for my girl.
Love her.
But look, she is a little annoying sometimes.
Yes. A little bossy. A little this, little that, little know-it-all. Right.
And so, they're going to not agree 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And it kind of works, though.
Right.
Like, and he challenges her. They challenge each other.
Yeah.
And I like that. And
especially when things are happening, they're like, whatever, we're yapping at each other.
Yeah.
Somebody insults her. He's the first one to stand up for her.
He's the first one to stand up for her. Every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Like, even when, at the time, he, didn't like her or whatever.
No.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah, whoa.
Only I'm the only one supposed to...
Yeah. So I love them.
Yeah.
They were my first ship ever. And Ron and Hermione, they're my favorite.
Yeah.
And I think it makes sense. I get it. I mean, it's a little overdone to have the boy teasing the girl trope. I'm not a huge fan of that.
But I mean, they were written in the 90s or whatever. Yeah,
and they're 11, 12, 13. Like, it is realistic.
They're kids.
It is. Like, but...
Yeah.
And I mean, again, it's the nostalgia a little bit for me.
For sure.
But I love them. I love them. And I'm sorry, I do not think it makes sense for Hermione and Draco to be together.
I mean... If we're starting with enemies to lovers, that would be enemies. Never going to lovers.
No, I get fan fiction, and I have your fan fiction.
Absolutely.
I love that. Explore relationships within 100%. There. I totally get it.
Right.
But if we're talking, like, real life, because, like, I mean, there are people who go hard for this stuff. That, like, actually have arguments. And in my opinion, I don't think it's realistic.
No.
Like, if this were canon, it would not be canon.
No.
Because he is racist.
Yeah.
I mean, and not even her being black or whatever, because, in the book, whatever.
It's kind of,
But she is Muggle-born. And I don't know how else you would say
I would just say racist.
So I would say racist.
Yeah.
Because he's talking about her birth.
Yeah.
Right? If
like mudblood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, no. There is no way that he would be with her. No. And there's no way that she would be with him.
Especially because him having his wife or girl or whoever be smarter than him, more clever than him.
He would not take that. No.
Even when they try to, like, redeem him in the end. No. He still wouldn't.
Yeah. No, everyone's yelling at us right now. But you need to read this fanfiction. Manicold! Have you read it? No, I haven't, and I won't. I'm sorry. No. I won't. I'm sticking to my guns there. I do get a little bit of dreary.
I can see that.
Low key. I know it's the exact same thing.
But not.
Because Draco is obsessed with Harry.
Yes.
And he wants to be Harry's best friend.
Plus,
he
it also helps that Harry has, 2 with your parents, so, like...
Well, Harry's considered a half-blood because his mom is Muggle-born. It gets a little confusing, the blood status
I mean, I guess you could say that.
But yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's in Draco's mind for him to love him.
Right.
Look, both your parents are wizards.
Yeah.
So, like, at least we don't, his racism isn't.
Yeah, it's not a huge factor there.
So, like,
yeah,
that would be.
And Harry's famous.
Yeah.
He's not extremely smart.
Right. Right.
I could see that. Because Draco just wants him to like him.
You're like, no, you're famous. You're the chosen. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
With my status?
No, literally.
Me and you would take over the world.
Yeah. So.
I can't see that.
I can see that.
Blah.
Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
All over the place.
Right.
Another favorite.
I know. I was like, literally, I was waiting for this one.
Percy and Annabeth. That's my couple.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
And again, where it's slow burn. Both of these are slow burn.
Yeah.
You know, they
like,
do
make
start as
sense.
friends.
And mind you, yes, they are kids.
Yeah.
But
they're teenagers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they're teens.
Right.
And
and both of the characters are so, like, realistic. They have their faults. They have their this. And, like, genuinely.
Yeah.
Like, an actual person.
Even Percy and Annabeth also have arguments. And she's like, like, done with him a lot of the time. So I'm just saying. Because I know people are going to be like, no, Ron and Hermione, so 10 years ago. I'm still there.
Yeah.
What is that? I'm still at the restaurant. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like Taylor Swift. The
I
Swifties
don't-
are going to come after you.
They can come after me. I don't like her music. Oh. I won't lie. No, not even on some hater shit. It's just
what?
not even on some hater shit.
Oh, okay.
For the subtitles.
I thought you said potato shit.
I'm just like, I'm hearing it. I don't get it. You know? Some of them, like her little folky songs, I'm like, okay, I can see. Sorry, but as a whole establishment, I have to say that. The whole establishment has a whole everything.
Yeah.
It falls flat for me. I don't get it.
That's fine. I'm not a huge Swiftie either. I enjoy some of her music.
Yeah.
I don't go die hard for music though.
Oh yeah.
Like
no,
I'm not
the farthest from that.
Yeah. If I like it, I like it.
It's
and
a
I'll
song,
listen to it. And,
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I do love my girl Chapel.
No, Chapel?
She's honestly
Bangers,
the
bangers,
first.
bangers,
yeah,
bangers.
Her whole album.
Yeah. It does.
It goes hard.
It does. It does. It's really good.
Anyway.
Anyways, back to romance.
Back to romance. Do you have any? I feel like I'm kind of taking over here.
No, it's just like, for what?
Friends to lovers. Percy and Annabeth. Ron and Hermione. You do. Do you have any?
I'm trying to go through my books.
Yeah, you just don't read a lot of romance stuff.
Yeah. Usually doesn't come, like, romance is definitely, like...
Yeah.
Most of it just... I mean... What would you call... What's my favorite book?
Six of Crows. I gave that to my mom to read. So my mom's reading Six of Crows right now.
She better eat that up.
No,
how could she not?
I know. I told her don't even do Shadow and Bone. She saw the show, so she knows the lore.
No, show's
all
fun.
she needs to know.
Show's cute.
Oh, Shadow and Bone.
Friends to lovers.
Friends to lovers. Well, she liked him the whole time, right? She had a crush on Mel.
In the book, yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell in the show if they were saying the same thing.
But then also you have the Darkling and her enemies. But that didn't work out, obviously.
That one seems like almost Rin in a way.
Yeah.
Poppy Wars, where it's like, I feel like Rin and
Alina
are both like,
just power.
they like power in a way.
They were drawn to power.
And like, because
they
want
didn't
to
have
be.
it.
Yeah. So they want to be like noticed and
Yeah.
whatever before a powerful person.
Right.
So it's like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Would that be, what would we call her and Darkling?
I mean, I guess you could
not
say,
how it ends.
Yeah,
but
I think it would have been enemies to lovers. Well, no, because they weren't enemies
I know.
at the beginning.
So like, not friends, or just a regular.
I don't know. Because it's like he did end up being her enemy.
Yeah.
And he had a underlying thing the whole time where that's a,
because the whole time, like, he was really just playing her.
Right.
But then, like, he kind of was in love with her at the end.
Right.
In a way.
I don't know.
Because then would that, in a way, loosely be lovers to enemies?
Maybe.
You know? Like, if we had to. I feel like that's the closest.
I would say that's
because she said, like, we really could have explored this. But now we're like, we're
you went down the wrong
enemies.
path.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Okay.
Look at me.
But Six of Crows, Nina and Matthias.
Enemies to
lovers.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I do love them.
Yes.
Because here's the thing, like, Matthias, he already had that, like, you know, he obviously grew up with all of these things of what he's told is right and wrong and bad and good. But right when he meets Nina, I feel like it's already crumbling. Yeah. And he's like already a decent guy.
Yes.
And that's where it's
he's just like, this is what I've just been told, like what I've been seeing in our fights or whatever with whatever. Exactly. So like being like, oh, you're not.
Because this is where I'm like, his morals are good. Yes. He has good morals. Yes. He's been taught and he has, you know, conditioning. And his views are different than hers. Right.
But his morals have been the same since day one.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's
how you do enemies to lovers. Oh, sorry. I just love them so much. I
know. I'd like to say that I was one of the few that liked Matthias since day one.
Because at the very beginning, every time I came to Matthias, what?
I just thought it was so interesting to get his POV.
No, now reading it, but like, it's kind of like, I'm like biased now. So I ended up liking him. But I'm like, okay, no, I like it. Yeah. But at first, I was like, bro, I don't care about your chapter. I don't care. So I was one of them.
And then you have Jesper and Wylan. I would say that's friends
to lovers?
Yeah. 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 Absolutely.
That's so cute. I love them in the book.
Yeah. Here's an interesting thing about Six of Crows.
No, talk to me.
I feel like it has like every single love trope.
So we have enemies to lovers.
Enemies to lovers with Nina and Matthias. Friends to lovers with Wylan and Jesper. And then you have unrequited love, or not unrequited, but like right person, wrong time.
Right person, wrong time.
Is that what you call that?
I would definitely say that.
Kaz and Inej.
Because I was like, what would you label them?
Yeah,
because if like before we like what we're actually reading, you know. So for them, they start off as just, I just hired you, you know, you're like an asset for me. That we started to become somewhat friends.
Yeah. Like
so that would be like a friends to lovers.
But they never really make it to lovers.
I mean, a little bit.
But like, you know, that's why she needs to write another one.
I know. Because like, they are definitely in love with each other. Yeah, so it would definitely be right person, wrong time. Because like, both of them have their traumas. From what we've seen.
Yeah. Ooh. So you say you don't like romance, but that book has
my favorite book has all of them. I know. I didn't notice that too. And I was like, I usually hate when like everyone ends up with somebody.
Right.
But this one, it just makes sense.
And then even going further into The King of Scars, you have Zoya and Nikolai, who you love. And that is like, that's like the golden retriever black cat. Yes. Trope, if you want to call that. Is that a trope, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Yeah. I'm like,
I love that.
You love that. And you love them. And then, you kind of have Isaac and the princess. Ooh. I know that they don't really get to be together.
But they love it. Like,
but would you say that's like enemies to lovers? Or like forced proximity?
Ooh, that's kind of hard.
Like, you have all the tropes in there.
Yeah. Wait, give me unrequited love. Come on. There's gotta be one in there. It feels right.
Could you say Nina and Matthias again after Matthias is dead?
No! Oh my god! Don't ever disrespect them like that again.
I'm just saying. Would you say the Darkling and Alina? After the fact?
Ooh. Yeah. Because I feel like he went into it, like, I'm gonna manipulate you to be, you know, have your power. And like, even when he was still kind of forming, he was like, well, yeah, this is also to manipulate you. Yeah. But then, like, I think after a while, when they were truly enemies, he was like
kind of like her.
Yeah, that's kind of my girl. You know? Yeah, I'd say unrequited love.
Right?
Leah, what are you doing? No, she did all of them.
Right?
And I ate it up.
And you hate romance.
I hate romance.
She hates romance.
Like, romance, like, the minute a touch of romance, I'm like, oh my God.
And your favorite book
has every trope.
And you eat it up.
And I eat it up.
Okay. Okay, so let's go into forced dating, forced proximity.
Yeah.
Because, look, another one of my favorite ships is Peeta and Katniss.
Yes.
And I would say that's forced proximity, forced dating. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
they
literally fake date.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about this one is obviously you have Peeta, who is in love with her.
Since day one. Yeah.
And you have Katniss just trying to fucking survive.
Right. He's like, love is the last thing on my mind.
Last thing on my mind.
Yeah.
Are you glad that they ended up together?
Yeah.
I am too, but
because
I feel like...
also, like, for her, like, trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma, and, like, she's like, love, that's not important. So, like, to finally feel her to have a place to feel safe and have love, I feel like, yeah, she deserves that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But do you think that it's tainted with Peeta? Because it was forced.
I don't know.
Here's my thoughts on it, if you want to know. I think that I love them. They're like top 3. You know, I love them. But really diving deep into also the way that Suzanne Collins writes these books. I think that she made the smartest move by having Peeta be like brainwashed into hating Katniss and everything about her,
right? And
having him still fall in love with her in the end, because at that point, it is.
They would have it's not the forced proximity.
He actually loves her. It's the rose-colored glasses have been taken off because I think it was puppy love. I think it was he just was enamored with her. Yeah, the idea of her. Yeah, but now those have been taken off. He sees all of her faults with this, tracker jacker venom in him and being tortured. He's seen it all now. And he still falls in love with her. Parker has a lot to say about this. But no, and I think that was the smartest move for her to make, because that, to me, makes it true love.
Yeah,
for them to be
because,
together.
like, even for Katniss, it proves, like, the forced proximity. Like, yeah, I fell in love with him. It's like, oh, hey, Parky. Like, yeah, we did fall in love with the forced proximity, but, like, now this shows, like, oh, I do love him for him. Yes. Even though he hates me, I still love and want to protect him.
And
so,
I want,
their love is real.
Yeah, and he falls in love with her all over again.
Yeah.
And it's not because they were forced to be together, like, with the games.
Because he literally hates you. He literally hates you, want to kill you, da-da-da. Yeah. Oh, so beautifully done.
I think that was the best move she could have done.
Yeah. Because like, then, if it was just the forced proximity, if they didn't have that, I don't think Katniss would have ended up with anyone.
No, I don't think so. Or she would have ended up with Gale just Gale. Of, you know, survival instincts. Right.
So it shows, like, yes, they fell in love because of this, but, like, even afterwards, it was always going to be them through that, you know?
Yeah.
I love them.
I know. I love them too.
Yeah.
And then another book that we haven't read, but we watched the show or movie, All the Boys I Loved Before.
Yeah,
That's fake dating.
That was so cute. So cute.
That was, like, top tier when that came out.
Yes. I was like, not my thing at all.
No.
But then I ate that up. It was so cute.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, so for the forced proximity, forced dating, do you like that trope then?
I think I do.
Yeah. Do you want to see more of that?
I think I do.
Maybe you need to read contemporary romance.
Ooh.
Because I feel like that's probably going to be more prevalent in contemporary romance.
Here's the thing. Even with I'm reading A Darker Shade of Magic, okay? And, like, yes, it's high fantasy, but I feel like it would lean more contemporary compared to, like, The Way of Kings, you know? So, like, I feel like going from, like, because I've been going ham on a bunch of different, like, epic high fantasies, to going to fiction or contemporary romance or whatever, it almost lacks, I feel like it lacks detail
and now, depth, maybe.
And depth, yeah. So it's like the depth I'm missing from it because I've been reading so much. I feel like even if I did just do, like, just a cute little contemporary romance or whatever, the writing itself would lack for me.
Right.
Because I'm used to, like, being in immersive worlds and all of this,
yeah,
you know?
And I think that's where my brain goes, too, is I need more going on. Because even reading Bridgerton, I was a little bored.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed it after, like, you know, it was fine. It wasn't a bad book.
Yeah.
I want to continue reading the rest of the Bridgerton series.
For sure.
But it was a little, like, oh, right. Oh, this is just romance.
Yeah.
Like, that is the point of the book.
There was another story. Remember, it was about, like, a pirate and what was he? Like a djinn, maybe, or something. Remember that? I think it's one of the books you got me. Remember? And I was like...
Oh...
I still liked it. I still want to keep reading.
Yeah.
Because, like, some of those stories just feel like, after reading all these crazy in-depth things, I feel it's more stick figure story. Like, it's very, like, honed in on them. In a white background, it just feels like that.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, like, I feel like I need to read, you know.
Which is why I think we like the slow burn so much, is because it's not the focus, and, you know, there's so much going on.
Yeah. It's just just slightly weaved in there.
Yeah. And it's like those bits of light in this dark world.
Right.
That's so beautiful, and that's why we love it.
Yeah.
You know?
Because then once it's so focused on, it's like, okay, this is just the main thing now. It's not what I'm used to. I don't know. It just doesn't feel executed well.
Right.
Because of what we're used to.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Thank you.
So... I also want to talk about unexpected romance. Because I feel like I haven't really read a book that has an unexpected romance. Where it is like out of the blue, and the character feels that way too. Like out of the blue, like, whoa, wait, I'm in love with you. But I feel like I would like to see that. I think that could be really interesting.
So unexpected. As in, I'm, you know...
Like, we're friends, or, like, you know, we're just allies or whatever, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, slow burn in a sense, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, wait, everything that I feel towards you isn't just friend.
That feels so familiar. I know I've read something like that.
I don't know. To me, the one that pops into my head...
Like loosely,
but even not really. It's like Harry and Ginny. From Harry's POV. Ginny's always been in love with him. Whatever.
Yeah.
But like,
I could see that.
Harry all of a sudden was like, oh, Ginny.
Like, whoa.
But even then it was like...
His Dark Materials?
Stop, you got me there!
His Dark Materials.
Oh my God, why am I actually so dumb? Why
His
am I
Dark
so
Materials.
dumb? And it's one of my favorite series.
His Dark Materials. Book. A trilogy, okay? We're friends. We're besties. We're going through this life. We're da-da-da-da. At the very end, we hear a story. Oh, shit.
It makes me cry.
I literally have cold chills.
Every time.
I literally have cold chills.
Oh my God.
That is how you execute.
That is how you do it. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I'm just honestly, top tier romance right there. And
yeah. Because that's all, like, would you call that I don't know if it's an instant, because like, no, the moment is instant, so it's not like when we meet.
But I think it's unexpected romance.
Yeah.
Period.
Because literally, like, you're just my bestie. Like, we're going through...
and like, we don't have, again, it's that we don't have time to think about that.
Yeah.
And they're also
mind you, they are kids.
And then, and I mean, that's the whole point of the book.
Yeah.
Is like this apparent loss of innocence.
Yeah.
Which, I'm excited. We're going to do a deep dive once she reads them. And we're going to like talk about it because I love this series. Yeah. There is so much in this series. There's so much controversy in this series. And I eat all of it up.
Absolutely.
And the show, guys, if you have not seen the show.
So good.
It is one of the best adaptations. They miss some things, but
I mean, that's as you would expect. Right.
But oh my gosh, it makes me cry. Oh my God. And
the end?
The end.
Like, and like, still.
Also, it does have Lin-Manuel Miranda in it.
They're like, nope.
No, listen. Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda.
The first time I watched it, I felt a little iffy about him.
Right.
I was like, he shouldn't have done the accent. He couldn't hold it the whole time. Yeah. I love Lin, but look.
Yeah.
Maybe he shouldn't have done the accent. But then He made me cry so much.
It's like, damn.
Because what they did right casting Lin is he is so likable and he is so like just warm.
Yeah.
And he really got that, and that was the character, and it makes me cry.
He's like, you're so silly, goofy, like whatever, but like.
But when it comes down to it, yeah. Oh my god.
Stop! I'll start crying right now. Shut up.
But talking about the romance between Lyra and Will,
that was unexpected
and so beautiful, and
but like it makes 1,000. Don't start.
I know. Every atom of me and every atom of you.
I will punch you in the face right now. Shut up.
They're gonna have to take 2. Stop. Okay. But yeah, can we also talk about how they can't be together? What is that romance trope called?
No, there's something. There
is where they can't be together. This is where we need Brady, producer. Let me look it up.
Yeah.
Can't be together trope.
Like destiny, something there. What is star-crossed lovers? What is that?
Forbidden love? It's not really forbidden love.
In a way.
Star-crossed lovers. Star-crossed lovers where they're doomed to fail. But again, they don't.
Oh, that's what that means?
Fail? That's what it says.
Oh.
Doomed love. Again.
In a way, though.
Yeah.
Because, like, we're in, like, boom. Yes. They're like, oh, no. Never. Like, that. There's no possibility. You're no.
It's just because I can't live in the same world. In the same universe.
Like, literally the same universe.
Yeah.
Like, right now we're living. Stop.
And they still talk to each other, though.
Point to a little bench.
Stop.
Please move on.
Yeah. So that, I want to see more of that.
1,000%.
Authors, take notes. Because we are the end-all, be-all of opinions.
Thank you. When it comes to romance, the people that read romance, don't talk to them. Talk to us.
Talk to
me.
Well.
No. Because, like, do it correctly or don't do it at all.
Damn. Which leads us into, does a book need to have romance to be good?
No. Next one.
I agree.
Also, though, some of them feels like it's forced.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going off of just book 1, okay? Because you just finished a Poppy
War, yeah.
It feels, and then also, is it romance? I don't know what it is.
It was weird with Alton.
Yeah, like...
It was like infatuation, and then brother?
Right.
And then I want your affection, and your, like, I want you to like me and praise and whatever. And then we're bonded. And then, I don't know.
And I'll say even...
Look, I don't think he's dead, so... Is he not dead?
I guess I'll have to read book 2. The Dragon Republic. Coming out. No, I'm just kidding. No, that one, I can't wait for you to read that one. Well, I can't wait for you to read the last one.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready for it to, like...
But also, like, it's going to be different, though, you know? Since the audiobook.
Right,
it's going to be quick versus, like, reading, because, I mean, it took me forever to read it. So, like, will it...
Yeah, but I'm eating it up.
But you're eating it up.
Although, first book I gave 3 stars.
I gave 3.75. Yeah. I do think it was, like...
It was fine.
Overhyped?
Yeah, overhyped.
But as a series as a whole, I feel like it's slightly overhyped in a way. But also, like, it's such a quality series. So, I don't know, like, the way it was hyped up, I feel like was off. But it is a very good series. Anyhow. But for Rin...
Yeah.
I could see this whole trilogy, like, she
didn't need to have...
She doesn't need any type of romance, any type of... Like, that's not...
No.
This is war. This is, like, genuinely war.
Yeah.
So, to have some sort of romance in there, I don't see it being necessary... Almost kind of, like, taking away from the story.
Yeah.
Especially because this is such heavily, like, day-to-day war, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And even in... The Way of Kings, because I'm thinking specifically for Kaladin, I don't, like, I feel like for him, and it's not really a spoiler, but I feel like he doesn't need romance at all. So there should be no, like, It's like, make some characters like Arrow Ace, or just
you don't need it.
You just don't need it.
Yeah. Ender's Game, that book, the first book at least, he doesn't have, I mean, he's a kid.
Yeah.
He's like 5, 6, again, but it's war.
Right.
That's like the basis of it. And what I like about Ender's Game is that it's more of his like relationship with his siblings that affects who he is, but like he thinks about them constantly, and his love for his sister and his hatred for his brother.
Yeah.
And I think, and we're going to have a whole pod on this about other relationships, not just romance.
Yeah.
And that's what I like to read more of, I think. Or I want to read more of.
Yeah.
I mean, even Garden Spells.
Yeah.
You do have romance in there, and I love the romance. But the basis of it is the siblings, is the sisters and their relationship.
More sibling stories.
Yes.
You know? And not just like, we're siblings, one dies.
No.
Just like, really give me like a genuine sibling. Are we, you know, enemies to actually family, you know, like from being siblings, or like, are we all, like, well, I just like that dynamic.
Here's the thing. If you look at like the most, like top charts TV shows throughout, you know, media, you have Gilmore Girls, which focuses on a mother-daughter relationship. You have Friends, which is a group of friends. You have How I Met Your Mother, again, a group of friends. You know, like, you have Supernatural, Brothers. It really is those relationships that people connect with more, I feel like.
Yeah, because it's like, in a way, romance can be like fleeting. It comes and goes. Sometimes it's like we're locked in. But like,
I mean, look how many tropes we're going through. There's so many, and are they realistic?
Because like even romance as a thing, like that's not always, like that's not like a constant.
Exactly.
Relate, like brothers, family,
sisters,
like, you know,
like
that's something deeper. Like that's something.
It's universal.
Yeah. So like, I don't know.
It's more connectivity, I think.
Yeah.
You know, to have
everyone can relate to that in some form.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Which we'll talk about in another pod episode.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that romance can make a book interesting because it is, again, real life.
Yeah.
You fall in love, you have crushes, you know, I think that it can make it real. I think that the books that you and I read are more, you know, fantasy, sci-fi. It's not the main thing.
Yeah. Because like The Shadow of the Gods, which is like a like Norse mythology based. No romance, at least for the first 2 books. And that is a quality series. You know, so I feel like you can have like genuinely like a quality series without needing romance at all.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Or like even the main character having a romantic interest.
Yeah. So like, yes, it can add dimension. Like it adds like a lightness and something that's not so deep and dark and sorrowful throughout the story. Yeah. So like I get why it's in there, but to not be in there doesn't
take away
from anything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially because there are other relationships that you can root for.
Exactly.
You know? You can root for lost brothers coming and reuniting. You
like new allies and like that found family. You know, there's something else that you can root for. And romance doesn't need to be the end all be all.
Absolutely. Which for Ember in the Ashes.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I mean, I liked Laia and Elias, but even then, I could have done without them.
I didn't want them. I can tell from the very beginning they were going to end up together.
Right.
But, like, they didn't need to be.
No, I feel like that could have been a really cool trio of individual people going through individual traumas and things and coming together in the end to fight together.
Yeah, and like we're bonded. Like, this is deeper than romance. This is deeper than friendship. It's like we're just our lives are bonded together.
Yeah, I feel like that would have made the Ember in the Ashes way more interesting.
Yeah,
you know, and I could still see how like Helene being in love with Elias. I like still have that.
There's still like romance in there,
right? But I feel like if they didn't have to be together, I feel like Elias and Laia didn't have to be together.
Yeah, like
it could have really just been like they have a deeper.
Yeah,
I think that could have been
like
interesting.
Those relationships where it's like we're not. Like, romance isn't deep enough for us. Like, friendship isn't deep enough. Like, it's something, like, our souls are bonded.
And that's how I feel about his Dark Materials. It was deeper than just even romance. Because they didn't even have a chance to be romantic.
Right.
Really.
It was just like, oh.
It was just, we've been through so much.
Like, we know that our souls are together.
We're
bonded.
Yeah.
And then now we're realizing, like, oh, there is that element to it.
Absolutely.
But I just love that our souls are connected.
Yes.
You know?
Oh my gosh. But not mated.
No.
I'm not a fan of that.
No.
Again, slow burn.
Fourth Wing is that mated.
I think it technically is.
Yeah.
I don't really read a lot of like werewolf stories, which I feel like is where the mated comes from. So I when I think of mated, I think of werewolves.
Same.
And I don't really read many of those. I don't think I've read any other than Twilight.
Then also, is that just forced proximity as well? Like
yes, like forced.
Like yes,
marriage.
We're supposed to. We're supposed to be together, but like, does that forcing make us? You know, like it's not like if we weren't forced, we probably wouldn't.
I have no idea because I've not read enough to even really discuss that.
I probably would hate it.
I probably would too. I was gonna say something and then I forgot.
No, say it.
I forgot.
Remember it.
Rewind. What did you say? We were talking about Ember.
Ember and the Ashes.
Oh, soulmates.
And then they're gonna end up together. Didn't need to be.
Okay, I remember. Okay. So you kind of had used this term, trauma bonding. How do you feel about trauma bonding?
I love trauma bonding. I love it.
I mean, yes.
Because I feel like, one, all the romances that we see,
it's like all trauma bonding.
Exactly.
Because in the fantasy sci-fi world,
they're going to go through some trauma.
Shit.
So I like trauma bonding where they don't start off with that instant, they think each other is attractive.
Sure.
Because then it feels like going through what we've been through has
But is this healthy?
Well, here's the thing. I feel like with trauma bonding, it's more like, again, a little deeper than just basic romance. You know, like, I have your back no matter what. You have my back. Like, there's no question about it. And because we've gone through all these things together, the trauma, we have, like, a better understanding of each other. A deeper thing, you know?
Okay. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was looking on Reddit to kind of see what people were saying about romance tropes and like what they want and what they don't want, what we want to see less of and more of. And at least on one thread, I mean, I didn't go super deep. A lot of people were saying they wanted to see less love triangles. They wanted to see less enemies to lovers. They wanted to see less of those. And they were really talking about like slow burns. I did see people though saying that they didn't want trauma bonds. But I think that it's difficult to define trauma bond when it comes to fantasy and sci-fi because I do agree it's like that's the whole point. Yeah. It's like
we're going to be trauma bonded even if we don't end up we go through this together. Right. You know?
It's like and there's no way around that. I think it's like if like they would have still fallen in love even without the trauma.
Is what they want?
I don't know.
Because I'm trying to think, like, in the books that we read. Right. Everything, like, there's going to be a war, or there's some sort of thing...
they're fighting for, rebellion.
Right, so all of that is very traumatic. Right. And they're going to have their backs, like, they're going to have to work together.
Right. Like, so it's there's not really a way around trauma bonding when it comes to these types of books.
Right, because if it's not trauma bonding, that means both of them were doing different things, but somehow they cross paths. Because then I feel like that's the instant...
I don't know. If you guys have a better, like... If you guys have, like, thoughts on trauma bonding and how you would define it, I'm really interested to hear what you have to say.
Because, like, what would be the negative? Like, what's the...
I don't know. And maybe they're talking about contemporary romance, which you and I haven't read.
It must be. Because I feel like there's no way around it.
Like, what trauma...
What trauma is there?
School shooting? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if there are any books of, like... Yeah. 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah.
I don't
see what other traumatic thing that's not related to, like, a fantasy world.
Right. I don't know. Let us know.
Unless it's more like those lighthearted fantasy books, you know? Like, I don't even know what it's about, but there's the one that's like, the one that looks very, I mean, to me, it reminds me of like Dungeons and Dragons, because there's like a...
Oh, the lattes and...
Yeah. I don't know what that's about.
I'm pretty sure that's like low key. I don't think...
Yeah, like,
is there trauma in that?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's low key. It's just a fantasy coffee shop. And so it's like, there's no trauma in there, but they fall in love? Is it like...
Then I feel like that's just a different genre of book that people need to be reading.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think this is an interesting concept that I also I read in the Reddit post is already established relationships where it is they are already boyfriend girlfriend, they're already married, whatever they are, and they're just like that's
they're
who they are.
The whole
they're
time,
together the whole time, and it's not like you don't see them falling in love. It's just they have already fallen in love and they're going through this together.
Do we have examples of that?
People did. Not books that we've read.
I'm trying to think, like, already together, but then, like, we're together.
Yeah, for, like, main character-wise, I don't think so. Because, like, you know, you have, like, side characters of, like, mom and dad are together. Yeah. You know, but they're not the main. I mean, I think of, like, TV shows, like How I Met Your Mother, you have Marshall and Lily.
Yeah.
Who are already together. And people love their love story.
Absolutely.
Even though they're already together. We don't even see them fall in love, except for flashbacks.
Like flashbacks, but like...
You're already rooting for them and you want them to stay together.
Yeah.
I think the point of that was like people saying they want to see that more. And I think that could be an interesting concept.
I feel like it might be hard in like fantasy sci-fi books just because like trauma. Like, I don't know, like, but I feel like would it be boring? Like, I think from a writer's perspective, like...
I don't think so. Okay. If it's written right.
Right.
But, I mean, in any relationship, you have ups and downs.
For sure.
And staying in a relationship can be way harder than just starting a relationship.
Absolutely.
And I feel like in a fantasy...
Especially going through trauma.
Right. Like... I mean, to me, I feel like you kind of have that in Percy Jackson, the second series, in the Heroes of Olympus. Okay. You have Percy and Annabeth, who are already an established relationship. Yeah. They're apart. Like, Percy, you know, is memory wiped. He only remembers Annabeth. But, like, you have them going through Tartarus together, and that's where I really wanted more about their PTSD from that, and as a relation, as a couple.
Yeah.
In his other books, which we didn't get, and I really wanted that. But I think that if something like that, where it really is delving into, they had to rely on each other, you know, they're not always seeing eye to eye.
But they're both each other's constant.
Yes. Still. And I think that could be so interesting because I think within a series you could have them be like, you know, thrown apart.
Because it would be really like, oh my gosh, like you still want to root for them when like they're apart, but they're still like thinking about the other person, caring about them. You know, even like if they're going to somehow cross each other's paths later, like doing something, make sure that the other person is safer, or
one person turns evil and they're still together technically. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot to explore there.
I can see that.
That could be really interesting.
But I feel like people who love romance might hate it or love it though.
Maybe.
But I feel like they might miss the we don't know each other and we're learning about each other, you know? Right. I think I would like the constant.
I think I would too. I think that could, again, be
I feel like it makes more sense. Because, like,
interesting.
We're not like, oh my god, he's, like, so handsome or she's so beautiful. You know?
Because here's where, and I mean, we read a lot of YA, New Age, is that what they call it now?
Yeah, New Age.
For sure. Like, a little bit above YA.
Yeah.
We're 20-year-olds.
Right.
I feel like, I mean, the tropes that we see there, it feels kind of like young love and there's miscommunication and you have the love triangle and it's a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
Because it's like as we mature, we want more mature relationships because that's what now we want.
Absolutely.
And so, and again, maybe we're reading the wrong books. Yeah. I don't know. But these are the books that we love. And in the books that we love, this is what we want to see.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think we should explore like different types of relationships, not just of people falling in love. Yeah, the toxicity and the love triangles of like, you know, oh, he's a bad boy and like I get it, we have those, and people will always make those.
For sure.
But let's try something new. Let's
especially for, like, the older readers, or just people who like to read the new age, or just adult.
Yeah.
Like, we just want more, like, we don't need the unhealthy toxic, like, there can be ups and downs, and, like, of course there's going to be some sort of miscommunication or whatever, like a normal thing. But yeah, to have
like the constant, like, even Xaden and Violet, like, that annoys me. I'm like, oh my god,
back and forth all the time. We're good for bad. We're good for bad.
A little too much.
Yeah,
you know,
because especially like at their big age, even though we're early 20s or whatever. But like, this is feeling like a teenage romance.
Which also, I'm sorry, I'm like kind of jumping, please. But we also wanted to talk about dating only one person or having an extremely disastrous first relationship, because it's like in a lot of these books, the first person they fall in love with is usually who they end up with. Yeah. Which is not realistic to real life, of course. Right. But also it's like, I don't know.
How do you write that where it doesn't feel rushed? Because, like, one, we need to, I don't know if it's already established, but, like, we need to fall in love, go through some sort of ups and downs, but then end our relationship. Then have enough time to then find somebody else, and then make that not feel just rushed into, like, natural,
and not just feel like, oh, it's a
we're just giving you another so it's like to have another type of relationship and see where in that, you know, because I feel like you need a long series for that,
right? But like, because we see Fourth Wing, we see Violet and Xaden, everyone ships them, we don't see her with anybody else, right? I mean, Dane, but we kind of hate Dane, the prince, doesn't really feel like there is romance there. Yeah. Like, is she gonna date someone else? Is she inevitably gonna always end up with Xaden? Like, you know, it's kind of like, well, we're rooting for this person so hard. And I think it's a lot of difficulties on the author's point of view, because it's like, oh, but I want my readers to like me still. Yeah. But it's also like, I don't know. And I mean, kids' books, it's like Percy and Annabeth. I mean, he kind of goes out with Rachel there.
But that's still even in the very beginning before him and her, like, getting together, so.
And I mean, you have Harry Potter where you have, like, he dates Cho, Hermione kind of dates Victor, Ron dates Lavender, but then, like, you know. Yeah. But again, it's that disastrous first relationship where it just feels thrown in.
Yeah. Because I feel like you need a big series or a big TV show, whole seasons, to really get multiple relationships where it's not like, I don't want the first one to always end up disastrous.
Yeah, just because it's like,
so they can then go to the person they're supposed to be with. You know, I want it to be kind of natural. Like, people have relationships that last years, and then it doesn't work out. Then they find another person, and that's who they are. Like, it's a natural thing. Right. Like, but I feel like in time crunch and pacing. Right.
But again, I feel like even the selection, going back to the very beginning of our discussion here, the selection, I think, did an okay job of that, where, you know, she was dating Aspen. Yeah. And I mean, the breaking up was the whole point of the beginning plot. But for them to, like, kind of be together again, but then, you know, break up and stay friends and realize that they are better off as friends, it wasn't disastrous. Right. You know, it didn't feel like...
It felt more of a real life. Yeah. In a way, kind of
where it's like, I really don't know who I like. Like, I like you both for different reasons. And, you know, your comfort, your home, and he's new, but he's, you know, charming. Like, that one I feel like is a relatively good example of, like,
I'd say that,
because I feel like like just the disastrous first relationship where it's like, this is obviously gonna go wrong, like Tamlin and Akatar, it's like, okay, we rooted for him and it's disastrous so that she could be with Rhysand, right? Or, you know,
Shatter I don't want them to have to go through a disaster to then change them enough to go to the next person, right? You know, because then it feels like, oh well, They were with that person for a reason, to grow. Like, there's a point to have them in a relationship. Yeah. So I don't think you need to end it in a disaster, like, where I'm only with this person so I could be with this person.
Exactly. And that's what it ends up feeling like. Yeah. Yeah. But I don't need it to feel like that every time.
It's like, I don't mind them being like, this is my person. And like, oh, we end up just not working out. Yeah. It's fine.
Like, fall out of love. It doesn't have to be disaster.
Okay, question. Yeah. Nina and Matthias. Nina and Hannah. Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't end, if you want to say disastrous, it does end in death, so, like, that could be, but it's not like there's a whole, like, oh, you've changed, you're an asshole, right? You know?
Yeah, but it wasn't like...
I know, if he was alive, they would still be together.
They would still be together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the closest thing I can think of that I've read. Where it's kind of what we kind of wanted.
Yeah.
Even though I don't really like her and Hannah.
Yikes. Yeah. I mean, I just love Matthias so much. I just love Matthias.
I feel like it was just too quick.
Yeah.
I was being like, you're going from brother to sister, basically.
She said it.
Or brother to brother. Technically.
Period. But yeah, I mean, I think
it's just hard in series. Unless you have a big series where you can have, like, them with that person for 3 books or something. Then one book, we're introducing another person, but whatever. Like, you have time to make it feel natural.
Yeah.
You know?
I think, like, in TV shows, they can do it better.
It's a little easier.
You know, because you do have, like, How I Met Your Mother, where both of them date Robin, and then, you know, they're still friends with each other.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to see more of that in books, though. Like, where,
me too.
you know, maybe within a friend group, these two date.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, okay, you know what? We're better off as friends.
Yeah.
Like, and then they just still stay friends. And maybe there's some tension here and there that could add interest to the next romance.
Right.
But, like, I don't know. Like, I mean, the one thing that keeps popping up in my mind is Harry Potter. You have Ginny dated Dean Thomas.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, they were squabbling a little here and there.
It was just so hard to, like, really see, because that was just a side thing, you know?
But, like, they still technically, you know, stay friends. It didn't end in disaster.
Right.
I mean, it was just
no,
stopped. And then, like, they still work together in the end to fight the bad guy. But, like, I don't know.
I still want more of that for the main characters. Yeah. If we're going to have a whole, like, multiple dating. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't make it so obvious.
Yes.
I think that's the main point.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there anything else?
Was that everything?
I don't know. We got through. We
did.
So much.
We were yapping.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, what's your favorite ships? Like, I mean, I know, again, you're not a huge romance person.
I know. So it's like, I wish I had my phone, because I have my ships there.
You do have your list.
I love my list. Most of my ships are shows.
Mm-hmm.
I know from books, the one that I can think of that's, like, my favorite is obviously Achilles and Patroclus.
Oh, love them.
But also, like, won't lie to you, Achilles wasn't my man too much.
I do not like Achilles that much. I only liked him because he liked him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was
and, like, I liked
him.
his love for Patroclus and Patroclus.
Yeah.
But then I just loved their love.
Yeah.
But not Achilles as much.
I wanted Achilles to be a little bit better of a person.
Like, Patroclus, I feel like, is the best person on the planet.
He stays the constant.
Yes.
I feel like throughout. I feel like Achilles kind of...
But also, Achilles goes through, like, what he needs to go through because he was supposed to be a god. Like,
trauma.
So, like, trauma. And, like, of course, it's going to get to your head and that. So, like, that makes sense for him. But for Patroclus to be so, like...
To me, like, I feel like that could have been, like, established relationship.
Yeah.
Like, if we, you know, already start off with them together because one person is going through all this trauma.
Yeah.
Like, I could see that, and, like, this person being a constant, like...
And, like, loving them throughout
Exactly.
That.
I feel like that could be interesting to read.
Yeah.
More of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who else? Let me think. Yeah, I really should have had my phone.
That's okay. Do you want to go grab it?
Where is it?
I don't know. Probably
Let me grab it.
Let
me grab it. Pause a second. Also, what time is it?
It's 1.
Okay, cool.
Well, now that I have you guys here all alone. Shut up, don't listen.
Sorry.
Hi. It's time for your ASMR.
I'm coming back in, so stop your talking.
Never mind. Okay. Top 3.
Top 3? Me, I have, like, 1. Like, I'm very picky.
You could say your TV show, because we did talk about TV shows.
No, I absolutely will. I have a bunch I have to go through. Oh, nope. Hold on.
It's still there.
Got it.
No, she got it.
Oh, that's non-romantic. Oh, here we go. Lyra and Will.
Well, yeah, that's...
Even though it wasn't like a whole relation. That was a whole different thing.
No, it was slow burn to the max and then ripped away from you in a very big instant.
Also, technically based on the book, Anthony and Kate.
Okay, yeah.
I love it. And that feels like rivals to lovers.
Yeah.
Even though they were rivals, but like, it's because they liked each other. But like, they were rivaling. Actually rivaling.
I'm curious how it is in the books.
I know.
Right?
Especially because, I mean, I don't know if this plays any difference, but like, she's already, their family's in society. Like, they're...
Right, in the books.
In the books, like, they've probably known
white.
each other. They're white. They've known each other, probably, you know, in some form. So, like, how does that play into it?
I don't know. Also, we didn't talk about age gaps, but I feel like we don't need to. I think we're all over age gaps.
No,
you know what's really funny? I saw a meme the other day. A meme. I feel like I'm a millennial saying that, you know what I mean?
No, it's not a meme.
But I did.
Okay.
And it was like, when it comes to age gaps, it's like, we need it to either be like, no age gap or extreme.
Yeah.
Because it was like, imagine if Edward Cullen had only been a vampire for like 30 years. Because technically he'd be like 47.
Yeah.
And that's just gross. Like,
you're still 47? Don't even, I mean, I would prefer the like 900 years.
You gotta be.
You know, I still prefer that. But also like, you're still 9. Like, you've been alive for 9. Like, there's...
Yeah, it's
you've been weird. 40. You've been... Like, you have that maturity. You're that person.
Yeah.
And the person who's been here 10 years.
Yeah, it also just
basically
doesn't
compared.
make sense.
Because, like, how...
It's like, you're not mature enough to be with... But it's a man. It's usually the man who's 100 years old. They never mature.
Which is crazy, because, like, you can mature, like, 3 different times.
Yep.
But someone who's 17, 19...
Like, yeah.
Like, at least have the woman, because usually what it is... Like, let her be 30. Let her be 40. Yeah. Let me see that.
Let's see that.
Why is it always freshly an adult?
Not even.
Sometimes not even.
Because, I mean, Twilight, she's 17?
Yeah.
Nah.
The only thing I can see for Twilight is because he got turned or whatever at 17 or 18.
Well, yeah,
so but I feel like his mom, then I don't know if this was after the fact, like Stephanie said this, or if it was in the book, but like, I think, like, he got turned at 17, 18, so, like, his mind...
Still he's gone through experiences.
But he's gone through experiences.
Yeah, I don't
know.
But anyway, your favorites.
I gotta update these, because, like...
They're kind of old.
In a way, like, yes, but also, like, I haven't seen that show, but also, like, yes, but I haven't seen it. Because, like, Ian and Mickey, Shameless.
Oh, yes.
Toxic as hell, but also... not toxic.
No, I love them. I also have not finished, like, the last season or 2.
No, I haven't either.
But I do ship them.
But I ship them. I don't care what they did. I don't care. That's them. They're locked in.
So we do love a little toxic.
And that's fine. Yeah. Let me see here.
We also didn't talk about canon versus non-canon, really. We talked about it a little bit with Harry Potter.
We're going to definitely have to do a part 2.
I feel like we are going to have to do a part 2.
Because, like, I'm just thinking of more and more things.
I know. Look. Okay, we're definitely making a part 2 at some point. Because
let's stop it now.
Yeah, but I do want to hear... one more.
One more? We're trying to get a good one.
Yeah. Make it a book.
Okay.
Okay, well, while she looks...
Yeah.
I want you guys to let us know. Go on our Instagram at the.tbr.podcast. We hate the dots, but that's all we could do. Let us know. Go on there. Comment. Tell us what you want to hear about romances. Your favorite tropes, least favorite tropes.
Sorry, please continue.
Because, yeah, we definitely are going to make a part 2. We have way too much to talk about. This could go on for 5 hours, which I'm sure y'all would eat up anyway, but we're going to break it up here. So, yeah, let us know. What?
Sorry, I thought of my last couple that I love.
Oh, who?
But it's also kind of not really a spoiler, but just a spoiler for you.
Tell me.
No, but I want you to read. It's in The Way of Kings.
I figured. Just tell me. I love spoilers. You know that. We do, though. We tell each other spoilers all the time.
Like, don't want to read it, but so this happened.
No, just tell me.
Adolin, which Look, I listened to the books going through the rest of the series after the first one. But anyways, Adolin and Shalon.
Okay.
Because like
Love
the stuff,
them.
I don't
know who they are.
I'm just going to leave it at that. Just know that I feel like is a realistic, healthy. If you know, you know.
Wow, throwing that one out there.
I'm throwing that one out there. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. I love them.
Okay. I love that. Do you want to know mine?
Go ahead.
We've got Ron and Hermione.
Okay.
We've got Percy and Annabelle, and we got Katniss and Peeta.
It's like people are gonna tell what's my main genre.
Okay,
or like that.
Mine is more like those are the one like my
you
first
like
ships.
Nostalgic.
I do like nostalgic,
which is usually kids' books.
Yeah, but okay, kind of. Let's go now past that.
Okay,
because I have to say they're my top 3. I can't,
Yeah.
But going past that to more mature, maybe. Let me think.
So I'm like another one. I really love Zoya and Nikolai.
Oh, okay. I love Nina and Matthias.
And Nina Matthias.
They were my faves.
Yeah.
I love them. I love Jesper and Wyland, but like I think I just love Jesper.
Yeah.
Obviously Lyra and Will from His Dark Materials. I love Mrs. Coulter and oh my god, what's his name? Her dad. I love them. They're so toxic
because they're like, we're the only ones on our level.
Yeah, literally.
We're the only ones on our level.
And I love that at the end they're both like, for Lyra, you know?
Which like from the dad?
Yeah.
Don't say that.
But
Miss Coulter, yes.
Absolutely, which we're going to be talking about 5-star and 1-star characters soon. And spoiler, Miss Coulter, this woman is a 5-star character.
This
absolute
goddess.
She's a goddess.
She does no wrong.
She does wrong. But I love her.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that
in the next one.
Not the next one.
I know.
But it's later.
Yeah.
I'm trying to let me look at my books.
I know.
Here.
Look at your books.
I mean, I'm a canon, like, kind
I feel like right now we have to say canon.
I love canon. Like, I don't even know if I have non-canon. Other than, I do like Sirius and Lupin. But I do love Lupin and Tonks, which apparently, I just found out recently, a lot of people don't like them together.
Lupin and who?
Tonks, Nymphadora. They do have an age gap, which
I was not a fan of.
Great, but I don't know. There's something interesting about them.
It's like, I like it, but something's off. But I
just think we needed to see more of it.
Yeah, to make it make sense.
Yeah. But, honestly,
gonna be like one more.
I feel like the books that I've been reading, like the more like fantasy, sci-fi, like the romance isn't something I'm really rooting for. Like Ember in the Ashes, loved that series. Didn't really. I mean, I liked Helene and. What's it? We know who we're talking about.
Helene and her man.
Yeah, who died.
Stop.
I don't like. Was it Musa?
Yeah.
I don't like them.
No.
It doesn't make sense.
Like what?
It was just like thrown in.
Yeah.
But like I like them. But like didn't really. I mean, I like it, but also like Laya and Elias. It's like okay, it's fine. And Fourth Wing, I'm like okay. Xaden and Violet, okay. Again, I want to see more of her friendships. Like that's what I'm excited to read more of.
Yeah.
And then I mean, what else? Like, I mean, Six of Crows, that whole Shadow and Bone Grishaverse.
Right.
Like, I'm like, I mean, I like the relationships that end up together. But I'm not like, oh my god, I'm like, because they weren't slow burn enough for me.
Yeah.
Like even Nikolai and Zoya, it's like, there were 2 books.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't enough. I think of, Percy Jackson is like, what, 20 books now?
Yeah.
And Harry Potter, 7. Like, that's just where I'm like, that's the friends to lovers slow burn that I just eat up. And I just, I feel like we don't get that enough in books that are more YA or New Age because it is instant.
Yeah.
It's always instant.
Because, like, you can still find someone attractive. Like, obviously, you first meet them, you're going to have, like, immediate opinions.
Right.
But then for that to, like, always be, or we're coming back to it every time you talk to them or meet them. I'm like, oh my God, I get it. You can first see him. Oh yeah, no, he's really happy, he's attractive. I'm like, ooh, a little nervous. As we go on, like, we got more things to focus on.
Right. Or even, like, the unrequited love, I guess you could say. Because, like, Alina and Mal, she did have a crush on him. Yeah. And so we knew, okay, well, there probably is going to be something there. Right. And, like those ones, it's like, it's not like, a surprise. Ones. Yeah. And even then, I mean, like, Harry Potter, people shipped Hermione and Harry. Yeah. I don't like that either, because I think of them as siblings.
Like, I still don't see them matching enough.
No, they don't.
Like, she needs someone that's more she needs that, like...
She needs someone to fight with her.
Yeah.
She likes it.
Yeah.
Harry is always like...
No, like, she needs...
Yeah, she needs that. But yeah, so that's why I'm like, I like the slow burn friendships. And I feel like the books that I've been reading lately just aren't that.
Yeah.
Because I don't, again, like, I'm reading Poppy where I don't ship her with anyone. I don't want her to be with anyone.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense.
No. Yeah, just the books I've been reading, I just haven't felt really strongly.
I know.
Much.
I'm not really it's like a person, or like, I feel like dynamics, you know, because Kaladin and Syl, that's the whole, that's not romantic, but like, that's a dynamic. I love it. It's like that deeper than romance, that deeper than friendship. Yeah. That, you know, like, that's what I'm always like, I go hard
And that's why I like Lyra and Will. Because it wasn't romance.
Yeah, and I was like, I love it.
It was just their bond of like, Yeah.
So romance, I need more time.
I do. Know. I think that's the moral of the story here.
Moral story
is we need more time.
Give it some more time.
Longer series, more time.
I guess that's what
What?
You know? All right.
No, I'm so curious though to hear their opinion.
I know, because like, who do they ship?
Who do you ship?
Like, I need to know the ships. I need to know
the tropes that you like.
The tropes. Which slow burns do y'all root for? I need the opinions.
Yeah, and I need recommendations.
Also,
I think that's first and foremost. We need recommendations.
Yeah. Do not recommend.
Oh. Colleen Hoover.
Correct. And
ACOTAR. Oh, ACOTAR.
Or Shatter Me. Even though I'm probably gonna go back and finish the series at some point.
And I'm reading ACOTAR, so I'm gonna read that.
Yeah, so she'll have those opinions.
I'll probably
read that one, like, or try to read it again. And I don't... The City of Gods and Monsters.
What's that one?
Remember that one I was trying to tell you? Scram!
Oh, yeah. We need a little bit of sophistication, please.
Sorry, Don't ever try to get me with that book again. I was like, they said, like, this is better than ACOTAR, like, this is that level, so I'm like, all right, whatever, like, it's gonna be romance, but, like, the ships that they're going hard for that. Don't ever. I've never been more bamboozled in my life. Scram, pup.
Scram, pup. No, when she told me about that, I just thought of the girl, sorry, I don't know.
No, please.
But the person that was like, Scram, she doesn't want to talk to you.
It's like, yeah.
Scram. That's so good.
Anyhow. But no, provide those recommendations.
Just not that.
Just
those
not
three.
Those 3.
4 or 5, I don't know.
And if you try to recommend them, you better give me an essay on why you really believe.
Actually, that's your homework.
Like, never listen to a podcast where I have to do homework.
Look, we're different.
Anywho.
You
list them down below or wherever.
Yeah, our Instagram. My hair again.
At b.tbr.podcast.
Yep. Let us know there and follow us there. We're also on TikTok, same at, and obviously YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
That's where you'll find us. Yeah. Oh yeah, also on our socials you'll find a calendar.
Yes.
Where we have listed kind of the posting schedule.
Yeah.
Where every Monday we have our normal sit down talk about books pod episodes.
Right.
Every Wednesday, we have a Doctor Who where we watch a couple episodes and then we talk about them.
Discuss that, right.
And so if you want to watch along, then please. We have our calendar that tells you when we're watching and when we're talking.
Yeah.
Same with every Friday, we have a book club. And our first book club is Addie LaRue. And so every week, every Friday, we talk about some chapters, and we have listed there which chapters. So if you want to read along with us and discuss,
go through that deep dive.
Go through the deep dive. You can find all of that information on our Instagram calendar, which we'll have pinned at the top. So,
see you later.
Thanks for listening.
See you next time.
We hope you like us.
Oh wait, if you're watching, see you next time.
What?
That was ASL.
Oh, that was cool. Wait, teach me.
See you next time. I mean, I guess you could do like see you next time.
Wait, next time.
Yeah.
Oh, and that.
And then on Saturdays, we'll go through.
Bree's gonna teach us
ASL.
if on our Patreon.